tomorrow. My name is James, and I'll be doing your reading today. This particular reading is for the sign of Pisces. Now, oh, that was upside down, never mind. Now I'm going to take a look at the current energies that are influencing you, and then after that, I'll dig a little deeper with my usual 9-card tarot spread. Now, if you would like to know more particular things about your particular situation and you'd like to set up a personal one-on-one reading with me, there are instructions down in the description box on how to do that. Alright, let's see. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so at the bottom of the deck here, we have card number 12, Running, which speaks to a need for action. You may have been in a place here of non-action where you've just been maybe keeping an eye on somebody here, because underneath that we have, interestingly enough, card number 11, Watching. So, it's very likely that, during whatever amount of time here you've been, keeping an eye on somebody, whether it be directly or indirectly. Maybe you've had to, have somebody else watch somebody's social media account. Maybe you've made a fake page to keep track of somebody else's social media account, but one way or another you've been keeping an eye on somebody, and you've been keeping a very close eye, and I feel like you've been waiting for the right time to make a move here, to take action towards them, because also on this wheel with the cogs and everything, you've got a little clock in that upper left hand corner there. So I feel like this is a situation where divine timing is involved, essentially. It wasn't just you that needed to do work. I feel like both you and this other individual have been healing, have been needing to do work, and it was inevitable, essentially, that you guys would come back together. I feel like this could very well be a habit between the two of you. And it's if you really think about it, over time, all the times that you've met this person, it could have been multiple situations of divine timing where you guys just find each other. You don't know the other is going to be there, but then you bump into them, and it's it kind of reignites that old flame. Right? It could be a situation where when you and this individual are apart, it's kind of you let go. It could be a case of, you guys reconnect, and for a little while, you spend time together, and eventually you end up drifting apart because one or the other ends up meeting somebody, and then instead of pursuing a connection with you guys, they pursue a connection with somebody else. And then that's when you guys separate. It could be, anywhere from a couple of weeks to a couple of months to a couple of years even, before you guys see each other again. But I feel now is the time, and I feel this could very well be the time. This could be the last time, right? And by the last time, I don't mean you guys are going to connect again, and then you're going to drift apart again, and then that's going to be the last time you connect. I mean, this could be your guys' chance. This could be the time, this could very well be the time where you two come together and finally stay together. You know what I mean? And then you really work on something together, and then actually let this grow. Alright, now, the first card up here, we have card number 8, which is Grooming. The action is pamper yourself. And the advice is treat yourself as gently as you would a child. The description of the card reads, allow the outer world, problems, and issues to dissolve as the mind, body, and spirit is nurtured. The only thing that matters now is personal comfort and self-care. Put desires to the side, forget the future, and focus on you here and now. Place the self at the center of all priorities. Listen to inspiring music, feed yourself nurturing foods. Treat yourself like a goddess/god. Focus on actions and activities that bring pleasure. Make yourself the priority. Love the body, and it will love you back. Become as compassionate to yourself as you would a child. It feels good to pamper or be pampered by another. Prepare for an unimaginably delicious outcome and trust resolution is coming. Take your sweet time. Don't worry about the exterior and how you look when you are grooming yourself. You need no one's approval or permission. Deep grooming happens in the interior level. Work at the surface and move deeper at your own pace and private comfort zone. You belong to no one but yourself. You know what is best for you. You reach your highest good and shower yourself in positive love, light, and intentions. Your body is your best friend, your temple, and your soul's resting place. Treat it with respect and spoil it frequently. Alright, well, I'm definitely getting that, this is, again, you could currently be in a time of non-action, and I feel like you and this individual, right, you could both very well be mirroring each other. I feel like, you're both going through a period of healing. You're both, going through situations that are really challenging you to act in your own best interest, to, keep your own self-worth in mind and move accordingly. But also, this is speaking of Alright, so as I was saying, I think, oh, that just fucked my head up. Alright. What stands out to me in the description of this card is where it says, deep grooming happens in the interior level. Work at the surface and move deeper at your own pace in private comfort zone. You belong to nobody but yourself, and you know what is best for you. You reach your highest good and shower yourself in positive love, light, and intentions. Your body is your best friend, your temple, and your soul's resting place. Treat it with respect and spoil it frequently. I feel like with this there is much emphasis on self-care, but not entirely in the traditional sense of self-care, I would say. It's like doing the inner work will show. in your exterior. And with the inner work being of the most importance, right? That's when you find that self-respect within you, when you find that, you know, understanding of your own worth, and like you have that respect of self that brings you to, you know, nurturing your body and doing what is right for you and yourself. That shows externally that, like, this grooming card kind of gives me that, like, Nine of Pentacles vibe, right? You've gone through and done the inner work, and it's showing on the outside. That's why you're usually, you know, it's when you go through that inner healing that you have that, like, outward glow up, right? And people are more attracted to you, and that's where people get shit fucked up, because that's where they think it's, you know, it's their looks that are drawing to people with them, when they don't realize it's their energy. It's that change, that switch in their energetic frequency that draws people to them. And that's why it draws people who have gone through what they've gone through, or who are currently going through what they're currently going through, to them. And then that's when, you know, you find community, you find, like, soul family, you find, like, people that you heal with together, right? You guys hold each other accountable. And I feel like, you know, that also begins with the ability to hold yourself accountable. Because if you can't hold yourself accountable, how are you going to hold someone else accountable? That's hypocritical, right? Alright, so... excuse me, sorry about that. So next up we have Fall, the quiet joy of transition. Alright, let's see. Fall.
Well, we definitely have to go to Harris Theater. You hear me? Harris Theater tomorrow. Yep. Yeah, my bed.
Alright, so the wet is twilight, and the advice is let go of things, accept endings, take a break, treat yourself gently. Evening's slow descent brings enchantment and opens dark veils of possibility. Energy slows. A gentle pace allows ideas to burrow and take root. Inspiration flickers like a candle's flame, dancing and illuminating darkness. Transition time is made easier by abject beauty, sublime richness, and wisdom gained. A slow and patient attitude is rewarded with autumnal richness and crisp results. Lengthened pleasures are bestowed on those who wait and revel in shadow. Pierce the veil, watch darkness fall, and allow the heaviness of sleep to consume you. When they say pierce the veil, that makes me think of the band every time, so I'm going to have to go listen to them after this. Thank you. Consuming vision. Ooh, wow, not consuming. Where did that come from? Coming visions reveal dazzling insights. Dreams fortify the unconscious. Evening expands what is imagined and makes way for rumblings of new possibility. Hey, hey, hey. Excuse me. Yeah, you know, I feel like this is really speaking to, like, as you're going through this healing, right? A part of that healing is having to let go of things, you know, accepting that, you know, certain periods of life are over, certain connections are over, and, you know, you're being asked to take a break, right? To treat yourself. It was like in the grooming card how it says treat yourself as you would a child, right? Treat yourself gently, take care of yourself, be very nurturing, pay, like, attention to everything that's going on in your body. And, you know, I feel like it's like during this time you're going to be inspired to do something. You're going to, like, it may even, like, bring certain things to light as you, you know, let go of certain people, places, and things. Once you accept that certain things have ended, you know, that will illuminate certain things that you may have been really confused about and, like, made you feel like you were sort of, like, in the dark, so to speak. Alright, now to get to the tarot portion here. Let's see. What does Pisces need to know at this time? Christ, that was quick. Alright, so here we have the Knight of Pentacles. Now, cards that flip out like this, I don't take them for the spread, but I do take them as a sort of side message, a little something that the universe would like to bring to your attention here. Now, with the Knight of Pentacles, I feel like, things have been moving really slowly. You might feel like, this period of healing, or, even this period of separation from this particular individual has been taking forever. It's been a very long journey here. Whew. And as I say that, at the bottom of the deck here, we have the Tower. I almost called it the Tarot. Oh man, we have that Tower card at the bottom here. Yeah, I get the vibe that like during this whole this healing process that you're going through, this separation with this particular individual, that is like a pretty large drawn out Tower moment, because it's like your belief system in a sense has been torn down, like everything you thought. How do I want to put this? It's like, whatever that like you thought was a foundation with that particular individual, you're realizing was no foundation at all, that maybe you guys really don't know a lot about each other. But at the same time, as you have that realization, you realize that this connection is more spiritual than anything. Like, you guys could have dreams about each other that tell you things that you otherwise, wouldn't be able to know. Especially since, it seems, I get the vibe that you guys have spent much more time apart than you have together. Okay? And it's like, when you realize that this situation is more spiritual than anything, I feel like that, in a sense, like sort of like changes things for you. It may change the way that you perceive the connection, and maybe, certain things you were confused about may start to make more sense. But what also flipped out here was the Two of Pentacles and the Four of Wands here. Now that definitely like it gives me the vibe of, they're it's like you really want to bring in balance to the situation, to create that sort of like, to create a sort of like stability. Now in this card, okay, in this Four of Wands up top, in all of the greenery, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on here, but up top in all of the greenery, there are random bunches of grapes. And now, grapes in the tarot, get off, don't care. Grapes in the tarot represent something that is very difficult to grow. And that could very well be what this situation feels like, it's not so much that it was difficult, but it's more so like it was, like that sort of gives me that like Knight of Pentacles energy, like it's been a very long journey, it's been a very long road. And I feel like, if you guys reconnect here, and I get the vibe that you guys will with that running card, right? But I feel like once you make that step towards this individual to make that, to bring balance to the situation, you feel like you'll have that Four of Wands with them. You'll be able to build that sturdy foundation so that you guys can really work together and build what you've been envisioning together. Alright, let's see what this Pisces needs to know at this time. Yeah, because here we have the Five of Cups. Okay, which gives me the vibe that in the past, you know, this situation has made you, you know, this situation is one of loss, essentially. You know, with the way that you guys always separate, and even though you always come back together, I feel like, you know, this last time, you could have really felt like you guys wouldn't be coming back together. And with this Four of Cups here that just flipped out, you know, I definitely get the vibe that you may feel like this person may no longer even be interested. You may feel like, you know, you've waited too long to say something, to come forward. Alright, let's see. 1, 2, 3. And the first card out here, the Queen of Cups. Let's see. Alright. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Alright, what's at the bottom of the deck here? Excuse me. Alright, so at the bottom of the deck here, we have the Page of Swords, the Ace of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, and the Six of Wands. Alright, now I feel like all of this is to say, you know, with that Page of Swords, I feel like communication was a big issue here between the both of you, and that's not like just one or the other, like you both had communication issues. And with the Ace of Swords, though, to the Queen of Pentacles, I get that, you know, as you both have been going through this healing separately, as you've both been, you know, finding these deeper truths about yourselves, that's going to make it easier for you guys to be honest with each other, right? It's going to be easier for you both to really, like, come back together, heal this situation, you know, and resolve these feelings of betrayal here with that Ten of Swords. And with that 10 being like a completion, and then going to that Six of Wands representing victory, like I feel like, you know, you guys were meant to come back together after better understanding yourselves so that you can better understand each other and then build something that will last. Build something, you know, that you know will be victorious here. Alright, now in the tarot spread here, excuse me, my sinuses are freaking out. Alright, so as I said, first up here we have the Queen of Cups, followed by the Two of Wands, and the Seven of Wands. Yeah, it's interesting because with this Queen of Cups here, I get that, you know, excuse me, you know that you see this other person as somebody who's very, like, emotionally mature and, you know, emotionally stable. And And with the Two of Wands and the Seven of Wands, right? I get that you had a choice between them and somebody else. And even though you chose that somebody else, you're still, like, here wondering, like, would they have been the better choice? Could we have had something better than I have now with this particular individual? And then that Seven of Wands is like, you're to me that speaks of you letting down your guard with yourself. Like, I feel like you're being honest with yourself about the situation and the way that you feel about, like, how things turned out. Because, like, it's interesting here, because this Two of Wands side by side looks like, you know, the cat in that Two of Wands card is looking at that Queen of Cups, and, like, from a higher up space in a very, like, contemplative sense, in a very contemplative way. It's like you're wondering, you're watching and wondering. And that's what makes you decide that with this Seven of Wands, you know, to let your guard down. Because next up we have this Two of Cups. Oops. We have this Two of Cups. And then we have the Ten of Wands. With the Empress. Alright, so, you know, I feel like this is the two of you reconnecting, right? And this particular Two of Cups is very unique because, I don't know, maybe I'll have to take a look back through my decks and look at the other Two of Cups, but in this one, you know, what really stands out to me is that sword made of stars. And then the moon right above that, which gives me the vibe that, like, you know, because the sword is going into one of the cups. And then the moon right above that, I feel like, you know, this is a conversation, this is a reconnection it's going to, like, reveal a lot of deeper truths that you guys have been keeping to yourselves over the years. And with that, you know, with the moon, I feel like that's going to illuminate a lot of things that you were both confused about, things that you both were unsure about here. And with that Ten of Wands, that's gonna relieve a lot of the burdens, a lot of the stuff that's been weighing on you when it comes to this connection. That's gonna make the connection feel a lot lighter. And I feel like that's what's gonna put you in this Empress energy. And I mean, the Empress can also, you know, represent somebody who's a mother. So if you have a child, that just makes it even more likely that Empress energy is you. But regardless, you know, the Empress is nurturing. The Empress, you know, she's very, like, I want to say, very aware of both herself and the others around her, how people affect each other, how certain actions, certain words, like, she's almost hyper aware of her surroundings and the people around her and how to work with them. Regardless, you know, her intuition helps her to really keep that calm demeanor and, you know, keep her out of, like, chaotic situations. So I feel like, you know, you're definitely somebody who could be connecting more with your intuition, and connecting more with your intuition helps your discernment, helps you to understand, you know, certain situations. But Now to move on to the last 3 cards here. First up, we have the 5 of Pentacles. And then we have the Star. And lastly, we have the, hey, Queen of Wands. Who doesn't love some Queen of Wands energy? And to have both the Queen of Wands and the Empress and the Queen of Cups in here, you must be a very strong feminine energy. But that doesn't have anything to do with gender or anything. You could be a man who operates more out of feminine energy than masculine, or you could be a woman who operates more out of masculine than feminine. Energy is energy. We both have both masculine and feminine, and I feel like the goal is to balance the two, but it's normal that from time to time we operate more out of one than the other given particular situations. Regardless here, with that 5 of Pentacles, I get the vibe that that's you coming out from the cold. I get the vibe that that's you reaching out to this individual. And with the Star, I feel like your intentions here with reaching out to this individual is to heal this situation. And I also get the vibe that you have a lot of hope when it comes to this situation. This is something that I feel like you've been holding on to for quite some time. And then lastly, with that Queen of Wands energy, I definitely get the vibe that this individual, I feel like the Queen of Wands is how this individual makes you feel, right? That's the energy that you're in when you're around them. You have this very natural, organic, confidence, this courage, right? This ability to just be you and not care about what other people think or not. The Queen of Wands is my no fucks given card, right? She literally doesn't care. In most Queen of Wands cards, she has a black cat. And back in the time when tarot first became a thing, it was very what is the word? I don't want to say superstitious, but it was people believed black cats to represent very bad things as well as, very bad luck. But she doesn't care. That black cat in the Queen of Wands cards represents how much she doesn't care about what other people think. In a sense, it's even a symbol of her independence, independent thinking, independent action, being her own person. And I feel like this individual sort of unlocks that in a sense in you. They make you feel safe to be yourself. They make you feel safe to express yourself in any whichever way you feel. Alright, Pisces, these are the messages that I have for you today, and I do hope they serve you well. Be gentle with yourselves, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye now.